Hey everybody, welcome to the Mighty Electronic Box for the 8th of April 2013. I am your host Joe, and as always, I've got my two fellow co-hosts, John. Say hello, John.
What's up?
And Brad.
Hey.
Hey. This is the unprepared episode, but nobody has to know that. So
Except we just told you.
Except we just told you, because I believe in honesty. So we'll kick it off with what we've been playing. As always, why change your winning formula?
Hell yeah.
So, John, what have you been playing?
Oh, let's see. It's been a while, I think.
Yeah,
the last time.
You on last week, I think.
2 weeks or so?
Yeah.
Feels like a while.
The one we recorded was like on a Wednesday, and then we didn't record that weekend or the week after, and now it's today.
Okay. I think I've got everything down. I did play a bunch of Skyrim again. I think I surprised myself because I thought it was going to be that thing where I'm like, oh yeah, I totally want to play Skyrim, and then play it for like an hour and be like, yeah, then not play it. But yeah, I sort of got back into it. That game's still cool. I was like nearly going to buy the DLC because it was all on sale, but I don't know. None of it really interests me. Like the whole
what
going
is the
back.
DLC for that?
There's the vampire one, that Dawn Guard, and then Dragonborn, which is like the going back to Morrowind, but not properly.
God.
Yeah.
Guard your dongs.
Yes, indeed.
Always be doing that, really.
Yeah.
When you think about it, you don't want to not do that.
Especially in Skyrim, some bad stuff could happen to your dong if you don't. God.
Is that a mod
Disgusting.
too?
Yeah.
Clean dongs.
Yeah, I was sort of interested going back to Morrowind because I really like Morrowind just as a setting.
I love Morrowind.
Yeah, that DLC is sort of like it's an island which I don't think you ever set foot on.
Yes, you do in the DLC.
Oh,
the expansion
that
pack
werewolf thing.
Yeah, it's the werewolf
Yeah.
island.
Okay, I thought it might be a different island, but yeah.
No,
So
it's one.
I don't know. Like I do want to go back, but not there. I guess I want to go back to like I can't even remember any of the place names in Morrowind, but I don't know. So yeah, I didn't buy any of that DLC. I also played quite a bit of Gears of War 3.
That's interesting. I wish I'd have played that now. I was contemplating picking up like a month card just to play some games.
I did that exact thing because a friend of mine has just got back from uni for Easter, and we used to play Gears like all the time, like since like Gears 1.
We might have to play some Gears, John. I might have to get some time.
He was like, "Oh, dude, do you want to play some Gears?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, I haven't played that in forever." And yeah, I'm still pretty much the best Gears of War player of all time. So yeah, that was
really.
That's alright then.
No,
True.
Yeah, it was fun though. It was like it took like a couple of games to get back into the swing of things. And
were you playing like versus, or were you playing Horde?
Yeah, it was just a bunch of King of the Hill, I think it was.
Yeah, King of the Hill's good.
Yeah,
I do like King of the Hill. But
so yeah,
real men play Warzone, man.
Yeah, that was fun, I guess, because it sort of made me realize that like Gears of War has been like a major part of my life
Gears
for like
of War is
the past
awesome.
6 years. Like it's just like a lot of my social interactions happened on Gears of War, which is weird to think about. But
a large part of my
still pretty
friends
funny.
list is from Gears of War 1. When I first got Gears 1 and started playing online and like playing player matches in Gears 1, a good 60% of my friends list to this day is from like those days of playing Gears 1.
Yeah.
I have the same thing, but from Halo 3.
I got stuff from Halo 3 as well, but it was mainly Gears 1. Like, because Gears 1 was out first, and it just, I think, it was weird. That game, I think, took a lot of people by surprise. Like, that was just fucking, just unreal. I mean, I bought a 360 mainly for Halo 3, and I had Gears with it, and I was just fucking blown away by that game.
Yeah, that game's those games are awesome. Yeah, it was just like what? Sorry,
I was gonna say, have you tried the new one at all?
Oh no, I'm not. I'm not interested in buying that at all.
I mean, the multiplayer stuff looks interesting, but I don't really.
It looks interesting, but like 4 multiplayer maps isn't really enough.
And
Like,
they've made some pretty big changes.
yeah,
to
like
the multiplayer.
yeah, stuff that like it is fine if they're trying to change the game, but it's not the Gears of War that I personally want to play. I guess like Gears of War has always be like the thing that's differentiated it from other stuff is just the way it plays, the way like the weapon switch, even like down to the weapon switching, that sort of stuff is still integral to Gears multiplayer, especially.
Yeah, and in the one, there's a couple of things I've been seeing, like a few, like there's like Call of Duty guys on YouTube, and there's probably stuff for every game. There's a couple for Gears that I don't really watch regularly, but like they're entertaining to watch. And like grenades are like on a hotkey now. Like weapon switching is just one button. There's no down but not out. Like you just die. Which, like is interesting, but it's not the Gears. Like I'm not completely against that kind of stuff, but it's that is not what I play Gears for.
So yeah, I mean it. Yeah, I really like Gears of War, and it's crazy
I'm gonna get a month card now, John. We've got to play some Gears. Because Gears is, I don't know if it's just me, but like Gears is, I mean, I think Halo is better, quote unquote, like whatever, but I have more fun playing Gears.
Yeah, probably the same here.
Yeah,
like
Gears...
I recognize that Gears, like especially like 1 and 2 had some major issues in like the multiplayer, but
1 wasn't as bad though. I think 1 had a layer of bullshit that
1 still had stuff like
1 still had solid stuff.
flips and like
I mean had
glitch and all that stuff but
it had its layer of bullshit that you could kind of understand.
Yeah, I guess
2 was just straight broken.
2 was broken.
My favorite thing in 2 was when they patched it so that you couldn't matchmake with anyone if your ping was over 100. That was awesome. That was the best part.
That worked.
Where I could no longer play it online.
That totally worked because
I was like, oh, thanks.
That was the best thing about that game, because after that title update came out, I never had any lag in Gears 2 ever. I mean, it was amazing.
Yeah, that's because they stopped all the people with bad connections from playing the game at all, which is not the correct answer.
I'm being very sarcastic. That game was so fucked. Like, and I think I've probably been over this before. Like, it really did kind of kill like the initial Gears 2 launch for me, because I really enjoyed the campaign, and then like me and like kind of the regular Gears bunch from Gears 1 like went straight into it after playing the campaign, like hyped as fuck to play the multiplayer. And I mean, I think I still have footage on this PC of that day 1 multiplayer, because it was literally like 30 seconds of lag. It was fucking insane. It was absolutely broken day 1, and it just it was such a letdown. I'm still sad about that.
I was never like I think I still managed to have some fun with it, because even like Gears 1 we sort of embraced the stupidity at times.
I agree. But, I mean, like Gears 1 was fairly standard. Lag. It was like leading your shots. Like if you wanted to headshot a guy that was running, you just lead your bullet a little bit. Whereas like Gears 2, it was your bullet could go fucking 20 feet to where you're actually aiming, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, what is that? And like, it's one of the reasons why I enjoy it. Like Gears 3 would like make a top list for this gen, purely because they just finally fixed the multiplayer. It's still got that thin layer of bullshit where like you can point blank a guy 4 fucking times and he doesn't die. And then he'll turn around and like one shot you from like he'll like run away, turn around and like shoot you once and you're dead, and it's like every now and then you do that to somebody else, so it's out. But yeah, we'll have to play some Gears. Brad, you've got to play some Gears with us.
Wait, which Gears are you playing?
Gears 3, the best one.
I don't own Gears 3. Also, my live runs out soon.
Gears 3. I'm willing to bet Gears 3 is like what, fucking a $5 or something online.
That's optimistic.
I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, it's fucking old.
Yeah, but games don't drop like that. And I'd have to get a new copy because there's probably a live pass bullshit.
I don't think there is actually an online pass for Gears 3.
Seriously?
I could be wrong, but I don't remember entering one. There is a season pass, but £8. It's £8 Gears 3.
What, new?
Not new. It's £12 new.
Okay,
I mean,
well,
yeah.
how reasonable. I would, but I got exam period coming up soon, so.
Fuck that, man. Play some Gears.
Well, seeing as you put it like that.
Yeah, I mean, you're in your first year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that shit, man. Play some Gears. Fuck that. But, I mean, there's no worse game to buy, though, like, when you're in that sort of period. Because if you get hooked...
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I know, I think there's one guy on my friends list, and he's got Seriously 3.0, and he farmed it, like, but he didn't actually cheat. He just, grinded the living shit out of offline multiplayer. And he has that achievement. And
Why?
even,
Does he hate himself?
even though he grinded it, I've got to tip my hat to that. That is some fucking dedication. I mean, I probably played thousands of hours of that multiplayer, and I haven't even made a fucking dent in that achievement.
Why would you do that to yourself?
He's probably one of the few people that's actually got it, not quote unquote legit, but he's got it without cheating. Like, I mean, there's plenty of people that have just glitched it, but like he has actually, quote earned the achievement. But
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it'll get some people. But I mean, the main thing for me is the fucking 6,000 sword off kills. Oh man, like, just no, just no way. It's not happening.
Yeah. So Gears of War. Let's see. I actually played and completed Mark of the Ninja.
Oh yeah.
Because as you know, it was on sale, and I bought it.
So surely you mean you completed Dust, because
No, I haven't
played that first.
I haven't touched Dust yet.
You are a terrible human being.
I just I thought Dust seemed like quite a long game.
It's definitely longer than.
And I am supposed to be writing a dissertation, and Mark of the Ninja didn't seem as maybe in depth and crazy. So
Mark of the Ninja is definitely more pick up and play.
Yeah. And I really like that game. I know you said like one of your main complaints was that the game doesn't really evolve much. It sort of lays everything out in front of you, and then that's it.
That was my biggest thing. Really, that was from transitioning from the demo, because I really liked the demo. The demo just made such a good impression. And I've said it before, I don't think the game is bad. I just think it seems afraid to just kind of go that little bit further. It lays everything out, and then that's just kind of it.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like the exact opposite of more than the sum of its parts. It's like it's the exact sum of what it has.
Yeah.
Nothing more.
I actually I thought the stuff they did was really awesome, and that like if that game had went on for any longer, I might have started getting bored of the mechanics.
Yeah, that's how I felt. Did you complete it again, or?
No, I haven't played. I am planning on going back in again
I'm
on the New Game Plus, but
I have a habit of completing games more than once, and I don't think I only completed that like just once, and that was it. I don't think I'll ever go back to it. So I would look forward to a sequel if they would, kind of.
Yeah.
And make it a bit harder. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, maybe. That game's fairly simple.
It's ridiculous. That again is another.
But like, I think the New Game Plus is like changes a bunch of stuff. Like
I did a couple of levels on New Game Plus, like just to test it out, and it's like they do take away like a lot of the stuff, but in some ways it makes you realize that the stuff they give you isn't really that necessary. Like your noise proximity and that. It's like, it's not as easy not having that stuff, but it also makes you realize that you don't really need that stuff to begin with. But it's. I mean, I always feel like I'm just saying that game is garbage, and I don't think it's bad.
Yeah, you came across quite negatively on
I just think I don't know, it just bugs me. It's always something that bugs me when like something that's sort of, it's hard to articulate, I guess, but like it does what it does well, and I think people just often confuse that with it being, fucking amazing. It's like, the two are different. Like there's a difference between sort of nailing what you're going for and, going that extra mile. So
Yeah.
So, like, I think my main complaint is just like the people, the claims of like, oh, this is, the rejuvenation of stealth, and like this is how stealth should be done, and it's like, no, it fucking isn't.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, to
stealth
me,
is hard for a start.
it's almost like I feel weird saying this. It almost doesn't really feel like a stealth game in a lot of ways, even though it is. It's like, I don't know. It didn't feel like I was playing, I don't know, like Metal Gear Solid or
I think
like
that's,
Hitman or something. It feels different. I mean, part of that, it's a 2D
no, I think
Xbox Live Arcade game, but it's also just the way like everything's presented. It's very there is something about the whole like not having 100% of the information when you're playing a stealth game that sort of gives it like, I suppose, intensity. It's like, well, I'm fairly sure if I do this, this guy won't spot us, but I'm not 100% sure. It's like something about that, it adds to like the stakes. Whereas in Mark the Ninja, that's pretty much guaranteed that, hey, right, okay, if I do this thing, he's going to spot me, or if I do this, it's 100% he's not going to spot me. Like,
that's exactly what I couldn't think of to say. That is pretty much, that articulates my problem with it better than I could. It is that sort of, absolutely everything. It's there's no mystery. It's like, no, if I do this, that enemy will do this, and then I'll be able to do this, and then that's that.
Yeah.
And like, the enemies are just fucking dumb, really.
Yeah,
like, the enemies aren't really a threat. Like, even if you get spotted, like, I mean, it's not big a deal.
Like, the thing is, if I got spotted, I would just let them kill me. So, like...
Yeah, and I hate that. I don't like that at all. Like, I mean, another thing that people... you can just restart if you get spotted. It's like, well, that's... It's like, that goes against the whole point of being stealthy.
Yeah.
Like, I fucked up. Oh, never mind. Restart checkpoint. And that wouldn't be so bad, but, like, there's no penalty for that at all.
No.
Like, as long as you're quick enough, there is no penalty for hitting restart checkpoint at all. Like, because there's no time limits. Like, my complaints are really petty and just, I want the game to be harder, but, it's whatever. They're my complaints.
Yeah.
So, but it's definitely good. No, I'm not saying it's shit.
No.
Just to be clear.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that, I have talked a lot about what I disliked about the game, but, I mean, the things I liked about it was just when you do, like, execute, like, a lot of that game is, like, planning your moves and then going out and executing them. And when you execute, like, a reasonably long string of, stuff, and it comes off and, you still kill everyone, it's like, that stuff's pretty cool. I like that. I mean, it's the same with all stealth games, really. It's like, okay,
and that is
how can I do this, and not be discovered? And it's sort of like a Hitman, but in like short form. Like the whole thing in Hitman is plan out your moves, then do it, then walk out as if nothing had happened. And it's like it's doing that, but in like little chunks, I guess. Yeah, that game's pretty cool. I also really like the look of the cutscene stuff. I think all that stuff's pretty well animated, and I sort of didn't like the end, which is weird because the story doesn't really matter, but there's like the multiple endings, which are weird because it wasn't 100% clear to me, at least, like what I was doing by choosing one of them over the other, and from the sounds of it, like they're not like you could do both of them, and you're not given the option to. You're given the option to do one or the other, and like it doesn't really make sense that you don't just do both. If you know what I mean. I don't know.
I'm trying to remember the choice. I don't really remember what it was that clearly. If I'm honest.
Well, I'm going to just say this anyway. Spoilers for Mark Ninja.
Don't you get the option of like killing the head of your clan?
Yeah. Well, the whole thing, like halfway through the game, you figure out that dude's bad.
Oh yeah, he's like.
And then right at the end, he's like, "Oh, this person who's been helping you is a hallucination brought on by the tattoos that you have."
I did quite.
Which
like
I thought was actually a sort of cool.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
But then, so you're basically given the option: kill the hallucination, which essentially means kill yourself, or kill the dude, like kill the bad dude. But like, if you kill the bad dude, you end up going like, "Oh, now I'm evil ninja man." Like, to me, it would make sense. Why don't you just kill the dude who's a dickhead and then just kill yourself because the tattoo's going to make you crazy. So,
Yeah, I think I killed the dude.
Yeah, I killed the dude as well, and then like it's like basically I guess that's the bad ending, but I don't know. Yeah. Anyway,
Always feels weird. I think the twist was cool, but I think it always does feel a little weird when like a choice ending kind of just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah. But yeah, it didn't feel like it was going to be that sort of game at all. It felt like it was just going to be, straight linear. This is how the story plays out. Yeah. Yeah, that game's cool. Let's see. I played a bit of a freeware horror game called SCP Containment Breach. I don't know if either of you know of this game.
I can't say I do.
Okay. I think it's on the Source engine. I could be wrong. It sort of looks like it would be. So basically, the setup is you are some sort of test subject dude in this facility which houses a bunch of crazy alien things that are scary. And you're in this room with this one that if you're looking at it, it can't move, but as soon as you stop looking at it, it can break your neck, basically.
So it's a weeping angel.
Yeah, pretty much. And there is a blink mechanic, which there's like a little timer in the bottom corner, and like when the timer runs out, you just automatically blink, but you can also manually blink. Yeah, using the space bar, which is interesting. Yeah, I guess it basically means you can't just like stare at this dude forever and not have to blink.
Just like real life.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, you're in this room with this dude, then lights go out, he kills the other two dudes that are in the room with you, and then everything at the facility breaks out, and you're basically left to nuke the facility and run away. As far as I can tell, because we never actually finished it. I was playing with flatmates. We never actually got to the end, but we picked up a note that was like, here's a bunch of warheads, you should probably set these off if something bad happens. And then we got horribly murdered. So yeah, there's that dude who is a danger. There's a dude who can melt through walls, which makes him hard to run away from, because if you close the door, you can just walk through it. So he's a scary dude, and there's a bunch of. I think there's one that if you look at its face, it pretty much goes into like the witch from Left 4 Dead.
Oh yeah,
pretty much does that thing, but it sort of looks really fucked up. It's got like super long arms and legs, and is like 8 foot tall. Yeah, that game's interesting for like a free game. It seems like people put a lot of effort into actually. It looks terrible, and it's sort of sometimes a bit weird. Like it's sort of like a roguelike, I guess. Like a lot of the rooms are all randomized, but you'll walk into a room and it's the exact same setup as another room, including like the items. So you find like a lot of like duplicate, like these little notes that are written out that give you descriptions of the monsters and stuff, which is weird. And sometimes it seems like the game sort of fucks you over. Like I once started and like I had the fucking crazy stare at the face monster thing, and it was pretty fucked. I couldn't really do anything, so I just restarted. But yeah, that game is interesting, I guess, if you're looking for something scary, which that game is actually quite scary for a free, sort of crappy looking game. Then I don't know, play that. And last but certainly not least, I played and completed BioShock Infinite.
Okay. So how was that? What's the
that game is really good.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah,
I had my doubts.
It's not I don't know, like, if you read anything about it at all.
No, I'm like deliberately avoiding everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that like it's pretty good. I've heard pretty good stuff about it, but nothing really in depth.
Yeah. So that like E3 demo from whenever it was, I think it was 2011. When they showed that off, everyone freaked out because it looked amazing. That this is not that game, I guess. Like the combat is better than BioShock. I haven't played BioShock 2, so I can't really talk about that. But it's essentially fairly standard BioShock, like gun in one hand, powers in the other, kill dudes.
I mean, that sounds like BioShock 2. I mean, like the one thing BioShock 2 did do, like it definitely played a lot better than the first game. But...
yeah, like the Skylines. I don't know. Skylines sounds right. I don't know.
I'm gonna call it Skyline.
Yeah, okay. So the Skylines, they change stuff. They make the combat maybe slightly more interesting. Like you to, like sort of navigate these. I wouldn't say Halo-esque battlefields because they're slightly smaller, but like sort of like open areas that you can roam around and
The
do
Skylines
stuff.
just get kind of fiddly at a point. Like
Yeah,
it's kind of not easy to shoot dudes on them, and you have a lot of controls whilst on them, but really you just want to get off it and shoot dudes normally.
I feel like that
you
game
played it
like,
as well, Brad.
Yeah, I played like the first 4 or 5, maybe 5 hours, I think.
Yeah. That game needs like I don't know, slow motion or something when you're on the.
You can hold down on the left analog stick to slow down on it, but even then you can't hit a fucking barn door.
Yeah, it's still not great. It does let you lock on when you're targeting when you're on
that
the.
That doesn't feel that good either. Like
yeah,
the best thing you can do on it is jump off and insta kill people with your melee weapon.
That melee thing's pretty good. I mean, other than talking about the combat, it's hard to talk about the story without spoiling stuff because that game is so narratively driven. It's all about the narrative pretty much.
Yeah,
I mean,
the story is the best part, really.
Yeah, the combat's not terrible. It's not like, oh god, this is shit. Why am I like?
No, it's like serviceable. Like there's some interesting aspects to it. It's just there are better combat games out there. So at a certain point,
it can be quite fun at times, but it's not. Yeah. It's not the best part of the game. Well, it's probably the worst part of the game.
It's kind of tricky. Like I don't know. I've seen people saying it isn't hard at all. But I kind of found you have a shield and you also have health, and the health doesn't regenerate. The shield does, but the shield's really like thin. And when you take actual health damage, it can be quite easy to get to a point where you're gonna die because you can't get stuff.
I mean, I played on hard, and there were a few. There's a battle. You probably won't have got to it yet. There's a boss that you encounter quite a few times, like 2 or 3 times. I can't remember. Basically, you encounter it quite a few times, and she I don't know. I didn't like the battles with her because she basically can just create dudes, while she's still alive. So you got to pretty much focus on her because killing the dudes doesn't do anything because they just come back, which is sort of fucked. And I really didn't like that battle. It sort of exposed everything that was wrong with the combat, especially because those parts didn't have the skylines, which was really annoying.
So are the skylines kind of like? I mean, are they for when you're fighting outside, or?
Yeah.
I was gonna say what about when you fight indoors? Like, do you feel limited? Or
do
you feel like they're taking away kind of like a key part of the combat?
Sort of, I guess. It's not a massive part of the combat, but it just allows you to move around better, basically. Yeah.
Are you guys both playing on console or PC?
I played the 360 version.
Yeah, I played the 360 one as well.
I was just wondering what you were saying about like aiming on the skylines. Like, do you think a mouse would help that? I mean,
maybe, but even still, it's not.
It's not great. I mean, just to mention like the 360 vision, like game still looks fantastic for a console game. There are a few little dips in the frame rate, but nothing.
Yeah, it does get framey.
Nothing crazy bad. Like I played the majority of the game. 30 frames, and it seemed pretty good still.
I think my favorite part was like the opening hour where you just fucking walk around that city.
Yeah.
And just watch. Like that's kind of like reminiscent of kind of like I'd say Metro 2033, just kind of soaking in the atmosphere of this kind of cool new place that you come to.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any more of that, but I kind of would have liked to see some downtime in the game where you kind of explore a bit more.
There's quite a few moments of.
Okay, that's cool. That's good to know.
Um,
I'm up to the point where you are trying to get the airship back, and you meeting with the gun, like the mercenary dude, and there's loads of robots, and then there's a battle where you have to fight loads of robots on a stage. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like that's probably the most draggy part of the game, I guess. It's like it feels like in the middle they weren't the plot isn't progressing that much, and like it's sort of like, oh, here's this sort of boss battle thing, which I really didn't enjoy. I mean, I got through it first time, but
yeah,
isn't that great? Anytime where it's like, oh, here's a room, all the doors closed, here's face these waves of dudes. It's not great.
No.
But
I didn't mind the bit in the museum, like that bit where it like kept on sectioning you off. That bit was interesting, with the dude like shouting at you.
Oh yeah. Well, that bit's interesting because I mean the combat isn't particularly great, but
it's not the combat.
It's the dude like going crazy.
And the setting was kind of the sort of fake, museum-y setup where there's like all stands of stuff about those particular events, which I'm not going to talk about.
Yeah, I have a question.
Oh, go for it.
It's my main question really. Does it? I don't know how to phrase this really. Does it sort of stand up against Rapture in terms of a setting?
In terms of setting,
like does it feel just as? I mean, it's hard to describe Rapture, but it just had such an atmosphere. It just had such a presence that very, very few games have. And I'm not going to say this game is garbage if it doesn't.
It's comparable, but personally, I would say that Rapture was. It's probably because BioShock, came first.
Definitely. I mean, there is that, but
I would say that Rapture is more of an interesting setting, I guess. Like Columbia feels like, well, we need a Rapture equivalent because this wouldn't make sense if it took place in just a city. It needs to take place in a world separated from ours. In a way, it needs to, because none of this could really exist if it didn't.
I don't know. I still felt Rapture. That was one of the things I liked so much about the first, but I mean, and the second BioShock as well. But like, Rapture felt, not real, but it felt plausible. Like, if you just, if you didn't think about it too much.
Yeah.
It felt, it was believable on a certain level. And I think that's like always will be one of my favorite parts about BioShock. But I think and one thing that BioShock 2 probably gets by on quite a bit really. Like if BioShock 2, if you kind of strip out Rapture, BioShock 2 doesn't really have much.
Yeah.
I didn't play BioShock 1 or 2, so I can't speak to what Rapture was like.
What?
But I don't think BioShock Infinite has as much an atmosphere, more like a period. Like it's a very period setting. Which I think is quite intentional. But it's not like deep and atmospheric. It's just like a setting rather than an atmosphere to the game.
I'd agree with that.
As I said, I mean that's not too much of a knock on it. I can't think of.
No. I mean, the thing about Infinite is what it doesn't have in maybe the impact that BioShock had in terms of like the environment, the atmosphere, and maybe some of the characters. It makes up for in it's like in the narrative, just as it is, as a story. Like that story is really interesting.
So without getting too spoilery, what is in a nutshell? What's the? I mean, if you can't do it in a nutshell, like just give briefly. What's the setup? What is the story?
So you are Booker DeWitt, who is a former Pinkerton agent, which basically Pinkertons I actually didn't think were a thing, but it turns out they are a real thing. Basically went around, like when there was a strike by a union, they'd go around and kick the shit out the workers and say, hey, you can't do this, stop striking and stuff. So he's not the greatest of guys.
You're a bit of a dick.
Yeah, and he is basically hired to go and find this girl Elizabeth, who was currently being like held captive in a tower in the city Columbia, run by a dude called Comstock, who was like this pseudo-religious. He's basically made himself out to be like the second coming of Jesus or whatever.
He's
All
like
these people,
prophet or something.
yeah, he calls himself the prophet, and like all these people worship him, and he is super mega racist.
Okay.
And so basically that's the setup, I guess.
Alright. That's
but
cool.
yeah, as it unravels, like
Yeah, but I imagine
shit.
it's one of those.
There's a lot of
really,
There's a lot of
gets crazy.
history, and
yeah, you can't really go too.
yeah.
too
I mean,
far.
I am really excited to hear what like Brad's reaction to like the latter part of that game, because
I don't know when I'm gonna get a chance to play it. I don't own the game myself. I was playing it at a friend's house, so hopefully we'll get to go finish it at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I do have issues with the story. Some of them I can't even talk about because it would spoil stuff. Like
It's
like
definitely on my list to play, but it's just fucking.
I'm not even wanting to talk about specific plot holes. It's just But I mean, the thing is, like, I was thinking about this to myself. I was like, oh, this game's awesome. Like, the story's cool, but it's got a lot of plot holes and that, and like. But then I was just happy that a game can, I know, incite this sort of discussion. Like, there's a massive thread on Giant Bomb. People just ridiculous. Like this whole spoiler FAQ thing, and it's awesome that a game can have people thinking so hard about story.
Yeah.
And just the thematic stuff that's in the game, like the attention to detail, it's crazy. Even if the story isn't 100% great, fantastic, it's probably one of the best in recent video game memory. Or maybe slightly, in my personal opinion, beaten by The Walking Dead. But
that's a pretty
still awesome. Yeah, I mean,
it's a pretty weighty comparison.
Those games, it could be one or the other. It just depends on your personal preferences, I think.
I'll try and I really want to play that.
I would say.
Have you guys heard anything about the PC version? Just on the off chance, because that's definitely the version I want.
I think it's the better version. So
sounds like
go for it.
Cool.
Yeah. But I mean, the thing I would say about Bioshock is it attempts to do a lot more than The Walking Dead does. So you can sort of excuse where it's like, oh, that doesn't work so well. It's like, yeah, but this game is trying to tell a much bigger story, I guess, and has a lot more. I don't know. It's just it's crazy when you think back of that game, and it's got so many intelligent, just attention to detail in the plot, things that characters say, and you think back and you're like, oh, okay, so that actually means something completely different, and like, yeah, that game's awesome. I don't know what else to talk about that game.
Yeah, I think I mean if it is sort of hits the points that I'm hearing about, we could do a spoiler cast for.
Oh yeah, definitely
for that.
Sounds good.
I might be able to, if I can clear some time this weekend, probably Sunday. I could probably like just go through it in a day.
Yeah, definitely. It's a long-ish game, maybe 10 hours.
I'm itching to just sit in front of this PC and play a game start to finish, because it's just I haven't got one yet that has come out that I want. So,
Joe, did I tell you I got Dead Space 3?
I think you did, yeah, but I mean I haven't. Oh, I'm so pissed that I've only completed that game once.
Well, we can do it sometime nearer the summer once my exams are over.
It's how little time I have. I really want to play more Dead Space 3, but
we'll do it. Don't worry.
Right. Although I unintentionally backed into some. Apparently, the co-op on PC is buggy as fuck.
Really?
Yeah. Like triggering missions is apparently it's just really buggy. I hope that's not true.
Well, maybe it'll be fixed by the time we get around to it.
Yeah, it's not too much to hope. But, did you play anything else, John? Or was that?
I'm fairly sure that was it.
Cool. So, Brad.
Yes. Other than the first few hours of Infinite, I played a lot of. Well, I went back and played a bit more Monster Hunter. I'm up to 25 or so hours played. I mean, a lot of what I've been doing over the past week was just grinding for better gear. Not because not because I need to. It's just I really like the way a set of armor looks, and it's got to the point like in that game you kind of don't need to upgrade your armor every time there's a new piece of armor available. It's kind of like just pick and choose the ones you like that have the right elemental resistances or whatever, or look cool. I generally choose ones that look cool and then upgrade when I see another one that looks cool enough to get.
Yeah.
And it's gotten to a point where there's...
That's pretty much me for armor in any game ever.
Yeah.
It's what looks the coolest. That's what's most important.
That is literally
That's what
the most
matters,
important.
really. I mean...
Yeah, really. But yeah, you can also upgrade armor once you have it. So the armor that I've started off with, I've upgraded to the point where I no longer have the required materials to upgrade it. You get these armor spheres, and basically there are blue ones, green ones, and then yellow ones, and I don't have any yellow ones, so I can't upgrade it anymore. So, and also the armor I can buy now is like as good as the armor upgrade would be once I've upgraded it. So it's like, it's time to do that. So I like grinded this monster like 8 or 9 times already. And bearing in mind, each one of these fights has taken me 25 minutes to half an hour. So I've just been wasting shit tons of time fighting this thing over and over again. But yeah, it's been pretty lax doing that. It was kind of an interesting fight. The monster's called Duramboros. I have no idea how you're meant to pronounce that properly, but that's roughly how it's spelt. And it's basically a giant thing with a hammer for a tail. Effectively, there's like a giant stone ball on its tail. And it has massive horns, which is why the armor looks dope, because you totally chop its horns off and then wear its horns on a helmet, and you have one of the horns, like full-size fucking horn, that's attached to your shoulder. So when you run around, just there's a giant horn coming off of you. It's pretty sick. And one of the things in Monster Hunter is when you're fighting monsters, you can like break parts of their body, and they'll either like drop something or you'll be able to carve off like some extra loot when you do that. So this thing, you can smash its horns up by hitting it in the head enough. You can destroy the humps on its back when it falls over. Because another thing, because it has that big heavy ball on its tail, it spins the ball round like a spinning disc. And when it's exhausted, it'll sometimes fall over whilst it's trying to do the winding up motion as it spins around and around and around and comes towards you. And the other thing you can do is the massive tail, if you actually manage to hit it, which is quite hard because it's usually swinging the tail at you. If you do manage to hit it, you can mine the tail with a pickaxe for the tail casing that's on the tail, which is pretty cool. But that's quite challenging. So yeah, I've been playing a bunch more Monster Hunter. Still no multiplayer, but that game's still good. Oh yeah, Joe, I was gonna mention to you. Did you ever get around to playing or buying a PSP Monster Hunter?
No, I didn't. Now that you've reminded me, I'm probably going to buy that now, otherwise I'll fucking forget. Which one? Which did you say is the one to get?
I said Unite is the one to get, but I also had to think about it. Like, I was wondering if we could
Ignite was that?
Oh no, sorry, Unite.
Oh, Unite.
Monster Hunter Freedom Unite.
Yeah,
but yeah, the reason I brought it up is because there's that Dolphin Wii emulator, isn't there? And I was like, I wonder if the online
PSP Monster Hunters. Oh no, this is all just different versions of that one. Never mind.
Oh.
I was going to say, no, it's not.
Yeah.
I was like, Monster Hunter Freedom, Monster Hunter Freedom 2.
Yeah.
Monster Hunter Freedom Unite.
Unite is Freedom 2 with extra content.
Cool.
So Unite's the one you want to get.
I will order that now because I'm on a bus a lot, so I could do a PSP game.
Yeah.
I still play my PSP quite a bit. That's one of those things I was kind of bummed when I first got it. Because I was like, I kind of played through Killzone, and then I was like, I don't really use this anymore. As time has gone on, really glad I got a PSP.
Yeah. So I was thinking about Dolphin, the PC Wii emulator. And I was wondering if we could, play, because the Wii version of Monster Hunter Tri actually has multiplayer. And obviously Tri Ultimate is actually just an updated version of Tri, so it still has quite a lot of similar content. And I was trying to work out if that game works with Dolphin, and it does, and you can play it in 1080p, but unfortunately all the netplay stuff is broken because it goes through Nintendo servers.
Yeah, right.
So sadly we can't play Monster Hunter on our PCs together, which I thought would be pretty awesome. So yeah, definitely.
Is there no PC version of any Monster Hunter game?
There is in Japan. It's,
right. I was going to say, surely there feels like one.
It's an MMO though, so.
Oh, okay. No, sort of standalone.
No, it has a monthly subscription, and if you want to play it, you can only play it if you have a Japanese internet.
So move to
connection.
Japan,
So
basically.
you need a VPN subscription as well.
So what this really proves, Brad, is that you're not quite hardcore enough when it comes to
Not quite.
to rip.
I'm not to the point of spending upwards of 30 quid a month just to play Monster Hunter.
You're not hardcore enough, Brad. You need
I'm
to.
only Circle Pad Pro level hardcore.
That is still pretty hardcore. I mean,
yeah. Well,
it's
not
kind of hardcore.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you're right. I avoided buying a Wii U. I drew the line at that point.
That's sensible. That's sensible.
Indeed. So yeah, played some of that. Also, I played. Oh fuck! What was the other thing I played? I've completely forgotten. Well, ignoring that, the other thing I did play. I had something I wanted to talk about and I've genuinely forgotten. Anyway, the thing I was leaving for last, because I probably played it the most over the last week. Oh yeah, I remember. Silly me. I played 30 hours of SimCity now. I don't know how that happened.
Oh, right.
Yeah, my playtime in SimCity is 31 hours, and I'm kind of wondering how.
Because I know those hours back.
No,
that's what you're saying.
I don't. It was really good. That's
Cool.
what I'm trying to say. Like that game is kind of good. It's also kind of disappointing, but it's kind of good. Like it has enough about it that like when you sit down to play that game, you kind of get roped in for the ride. Like every time you make a new city, you will kind of just want to sit there and really make the best out of it. And I think most recently, I play it with my girlfriend quite a lot, and we managed to make a city that was all high wealth and all high density population. So you had I think we had 130 odd thousand people in there by the end, and they're all like really, really rich Sims, and we're making shit tons of money. Like we have 4.2 million simoleons, which is like way more than you need to do anything in that game at this point. And it just looks really awesome. Like I have some really good screenshots from that game. It looks kind of pretty once you have all the big skyscrapers up and about, and with the cool, cute little depth of field thing it does when you zoom in. So yeah, as much shit as SimCity's got, it's been 30 hours of my life since it came out, and I don't feel bad about that. So yeah, the thing I actually wanted to talk about last was StarCraft. I've been playing a lot of StarCraft last week. Yeah, it's been kind of weird. I've been playing it a lot because obviously there's a StarCraft society at my university, and in fact I've been playing so much StarCraft that I think on the weekend, I think it must have been Friday night. Friday night I went to bed at 7 a.m. as in on Saturday.
Oh, nice.
Because I was playing that
why
much
didn't you just carry on playing at that point then?
I don't know. But
just carry on playing. That's how it goes.
I still managed to get 5.5 hours sleep in the end. So it worked out all right. And then the night after I played until 4 a.m. because I thought I had to draw the line somewhere.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
But the funny thing is, we haven't even actually been playing necessarily that much real StarCraft. Like we were doing the level of the quality of so StarCraft has the arcade games, I'm sure they're like all the custom games that people make, and like the quality of those has increased like so much since the game first came out. Like the first ones were all just everyone's gonna make a fucking tower defense game, and I don't know, now you can play with infinite money. That was the kind of maps that were on the arcade.
So this expansion, is it multiplayer only, or is it like is there a new campaign?
There's a new campaign.
All right, cool. Okay.
Yeah, it's just slightly shorter. It's 20 missions instead of 30, 20 mainline missions instead of 30, but it's got new single player content. But the quality of the arcade stuff has shot up. Like we were playing this game called it was kind of like a mini game collection. I can't remember the exact name of it. It's like Marine Micro something probably. I forget. But it's a collection of like 13 different mini games. So there's one where everyone plays as a Hellion, and you have one spell that shoots a missile in a straight line. You have to drive around and shoot each other with missiles. And then there's like another mini game where everyone plays as a lurker, and you have to race to the end whilst avoiding enemies. And another one where everyone plays as a tank, and there are bananas in the middle of the map, and someone has to try and steal the bananas. But all of you have like a really short field of view, so you can't like attack anyone, but you have an observer. So basically what you want to do is go in siege mode, and when you're in siege mode, you do 60% damage to any other tank, and you send out the observer to try and scout for people, and if you find anyone, you just fucking wreck them. And so everyone just sets up their siege tanks around the bananas, and then it's like a stalemate where everyone's staring at each other with their observers. And as soon as you see anyone else's observer, you like shit yourself and run away. It's awesome. So yeah, we're just playing shit like that. We also played Photon Cycles, which has actually been out for a while now, and it's kind of cool. Which is effectively Tron, like the video game Tron. Have you guys ever played that?
No, I haven't.
John, do you know what the video game Tron is?
I have an idea.
It's the light cycles, like.
Yeah.
So in the actual original, it was you drive along and leave like a solid wall behind you. If anyone hits the wall, they die, and you only turn in right angles. But this is mouse controls, so you use the mouse to turn, so you can turn analog amounts. And also the walls have gaps in them, so if you actually aim well enough, you can drive in between someone's gaps in their wall and like stay alive a bit longer, and so you can use that to cut people up and try and like kill all the other light cycles. And playing that with like 12 people all in one lobby is kind of good fun. We also played a lot of Pictionary, which I think was where we had the best fun. Playing, it literally is Pictionary. Like I don't know how you take StarCraft and make Pictionary, but that happened. And so we just all were drawing like different StarCraft units or pro gamers. Or like build orders, like 6 balls. What would you draw? You draw 6 Zergling spawning pools, stuff like that. And then eventually we got into like drawing Pokemon and shit like that. So yeah, I've played a lot of StarCraft this week, and on top of that, I think it was on Friday, last Friday, we did a live stream of 2 people in the society doing a best of 9 show match, and me and a Masters player who's going to be the head of the society next year did a like live commentaries. So we were basically casting the game of the 2 players with like loads of people watching it. We had like 20 odd viewers, which was kind of cool throughout that. So yeah, that was good fun. Good bringing of the community together and such. Had a great time.
Awesome. Anything else?
Nope, that's pretty much it.
Cool. I didn't play a lot this week, as you can probably guess. I didn't have a lot of time. I played a bunch more Tekken Tag. I've been playing a lot more of that recently. Not just online, but like really probably playing it more than I should, to be honest, because it's a fucking, what's the word? Rabbit hole, downward spiral,
Okay.
oblivion. Yeah, they're just like, it's just sort of obsessive. Like whenever I get sort of blown up online by something I don't know, I'll always go into training mode and sort of like spend a solid half an hour or as much time as I can with like the character that just blew me up. And it's like, right, well, what did they do and what can I do about it? But yeah, playing a bunch more of that. Getting really sick and tired of fighting fucking Law. A lot of people seem to have just 2 Laws as their team. And yeah, I'm getting sick and tired of fighting that fucking character. But that's pretty much it. That's just still Tekken. And it's really good. I also tried the Injustice demo that came out this week. No, not this week, sorry, last week. It's Monday today. What the fuck am I talking about? Yeah, and that is, to a certain extent, I still think demos of fighting games are almost pointless. Like you can get an idea for the systems and you can get an idea of how the game plays, but in terms of like figuring, like, finding stuff, this demo's only got 3 characters. You get Batman, Wonder Woman, and Lex Luthor. And like you can find out like combos and stuff with the characters, but how much of it will transition to the final game, I have no idea. I'm not sure like how old this build is that the demo is based on. But in short, I'm a little disappointed at first. I got to admit, I haven't had a chance to put a ton of time into it. But it feels dry, if that makes sense, in terms of a fighting game. It doesn't have much style to it. Like, that's a pretty big thing for me in a fighting game. I'm not gonna like, I don't want to be like the best player in the world. I just want to, be good enough to, sort of hold my own. But it has to have style. It has to have like some sort of flair to it. For me, MK has always been sort of the gore and kind of just the over-the-top nature of everything in Mortal Kombat. But especially in MK9, like there's a real attention to detail that game has that just not many games in general have. Like just hundreds of like really small things that you don't really notice like until you like if they were took away, like those kind of things in the game. just like all the little things that they do with all the characters, like sort of the win poses, like the intros to their fights, like the moves they have, like it all just gels together really, really well. Like, you know, I can't really think of an example that you guys might know of, but like just, you know, like Scorpion's moves feel like moves Scorpion would do.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know, Sub-Zero's moves feel like Sub-Zero's moves, even though they're all completely new in this. And it's a similar thing in Tekken. Like, that game has a style to it. Like, it's very sort of, it's not really serious. Like, I mean, it used to be, but it's gone a little bit goofy now. And it's kind of self-aware, but
It was always sort of goofy with the endings.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the endings definitely. But like that sort of transition into like, you know, I mean, like when you play online, especially, like I mean, you play people that have got like fucking, you know, stop signs on their backs and fucking batteries and shit. Like it's just really dumb.
Yeah.
And I don't like that as such because I think the main actual costumes look really cool. I think it's like kind of, I don't know, if I was like a costume designer for that game, I'd feel pretty bummed out that like people are putting like all this dumb shit on on costumes. But and like just Tekken has a real like devastating look to when you fight in Tekken, like the sound effects and everything in it. Like it, you know, it feels like fucking, you know, Iron Man is like punching you in the face when you get hit. And Injustice just doesn't have that. It feels really light. Like the attacks in it don't really have a lot of weight. I mean, there could be other characters, you know, take everything with a pinch of salt because it is a demo, but like playing as Batman, like, you know, the moves and stuff, like his special moves are really cool, but like his regular combos, it's like, you know, you think of the character, it's like, would Batman do this? Like, this doesn't really feel like Batman to me. And I'm no DC, you know, expert, far from it, but and like the move stuff and just like how combos work, it's fairly easy to understand, but it just doesn't seem to have a lot of flair to it. And I really like that in a fighting game. Like I really want it to have style and really be over the top in any way, like in any way, shape or form. Just be really crazy and just go nuts.
Yeah, it's weird that like they can't seem to do that with, you know, superheroes who have these crazy powers. Where
I think
and
that's
like
sort
Tekken is ostensibly realistic. I mean, obviously to a point, and then it goes sort of crazy. But you know, dudes aren't like, it isn't like Street Fighter where dudes are using fireballs and stuff, or like Mortal Kombat.
Yes,
you know?
I mean Tekken is realistic in the sense that, you know, you play. I mean, my team in Tekken is Yoshimitsu and Kazuya. Yoshimitsu has a sword and is a fucking like cyborg samurai ninja, and Kazuya is half devil. So I mean, you know,
I suppose
realistic in air quotes, but I see what you mean. You know, like,
but
Kazuya,
like those games can still achieve a style without going
definitely
crazy.
And
it's
I think even MK to a point, like MK is not realistic at all, but like what I said before, like the characters just, you know, they feel like they would, you know, those characters really feel how they would feel.
I haven't played it myself yet. I think I will give it a bash at some point. But like, how are the characters like stylized? Is it just sort of, here's a standard looking Batman?
I'm pretty sure. I mean, I've always liked kind of. I mean, I still call them Midway, but they're NRS now. I've always liked their character design. Kind of thing, like the arm. I think Batman looks fucking sick in Injustice. Like his armor just looks so cool. And like it's a really nice looking game. Lex Luthor is like, you know, fights in a giant mech and it looks awesome. And like there's more attention to detail probably in his suit, because like when he jumps, you know, like he kind of has like boosters come out on his body. Like when he kicks you, like boosters come out of his feet. Like when he punches you, like, you know, a booster will come out of his hand. And stuff like that. Like there's some really cool stuff there. And I think how it works is, I think you have Batman, Wonder Woman, and Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor is your, I think, like power character. He can like pick up things in the environment and just like throw them at your guy.
Sort of like Jax, maybe.
Yeah, basically. Although there's no like mechanical difference in MK apart from like low and high hit.
Yeah, but like he's that sort of looking dude. He's
like I mean, he is fucking huge. Like Lex Luthor he's absolutely massive. Batman, I think, is the gadget character. Like he can like I'm not sure how I mean, I haven't really played it enough to kind of know 100% what they can do, but I think he can use stuff in the environment to his advantage. He can't necessarily, like, you know, pick up the light, and I think there's only one stage in it. I think it's Gotham, and in that one, Lex Luthor can pick up like this searchlight and throw it at your character. Batman can like if you're in a certain range, he can like hit you into the helicopter that's like hovering overhead, and that will kind of like knock you into the air and set you up for like a follow-up juggle combo that you can like, I'm not sure how that works in terms of like an anti-air or anything like that, but and I think Wonder Woman is, I'm not sure if it's speed character or light character. I don't want to put misinformation out there. I'm not really sure what her kind of category is, but I'm pretty sure like they have given you one of each kind of fighter in that respect. So yeah, like in terms of like systems, I just haven't had a chance to play it enough to really comment on that. I'm still definitely going to get it when it's out because I am really excited for it. It's just, when I played the MK9 demo, I was just super fucking hyped to play that game. I was like, I need to fucking play this game now. And Injustice, I'm just like, yeah, I'll just, I need the full game really. I really want to, play the full version and see what it's about. Other than that, the main thing that I really like, and I think maybe it's overstating it, but I really hope all fighting games employ this in some way or another, is they actually give you a lot of like enthusiast data right off the bat. You go into your start menu. I think they actually mentioned this. And you go into your moves list, and like just right there's like everything about the move. It's like, is it a low, overhead, mid, high? It's got its startup frames, its block frames, its recovery frames. It's just all that is just fucking there. And I think it maybe is a double-edged sword because I mean that's going to result in the game getting broken down a hell of a lot quicker because you don't really have to test anything. If you want to look at whose jab is faster, Batman's or Wonder Woman's, you go into the moves list. Oh, Batman's is 9 frames, and Wonder Woman's is however many frames. Sort of straight away which is quicker. But I think it's going to do more good than it will harm because like the players that don't really give a shit about that, that's not really going to harm them in any way. Like they'll just look at that stuff and think, well, I don't really want to take note of any of that shit, so I'll just ignore it. But the people that do actually want that kind of stuff, I'm not sure if it's been done before. I really don't think it has, but just giving out kind of like frame data with the game is a pretty bold move.
Yeah.
Like it's not something that the average person is gonna really know what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really understand how that serves in a lot of...
I mean that serves the tournament crowd. I mean, very
those guys are gonna seek that stuff out, or they're gonna discover that stuff themselves. Like, yeah, I mean, it does make it easier for them, but like, I don't know, like the whole thing with fighting games is that like there is a very dedicated, market for them. Then there's like the people like me who I'm vaguely interested in Mortal Kombat. I obviously bought the last Mortal Kombat, and then there's people who just don't play fighting games because they just can't get their head around them. And like it feels like they should be trying to appeal to the people who just can't get their head around fighting games.
I think that's the
by like that. If a person who doesn't play fighting games looks at that, they'll like their head will explode and just, right.
I view it as fairly straightforward, but I mean, I'm interested in that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm by no means, like, amazing at every single fighting game. But I like to know just sort of a knowledge perspective. I'd liken it to like knowing what power weapons spawn on a Gears of War map.
Yeah.
If I'm playing, character X, that say has a standard punish is like 10 frames, and the character I'm playing is has a slower punish than that. It's just something I like to know. It's not something that I get super deep into. It's just And I think they've given you just kind of enough of the basics, just so you can kind of look at it and think, right, this move is this and it has these properties. Whereas the people that don't give a shit, optimistically, I think they'll probably just ignore it. I mean, it's if you don't understand it, you'd look at that and think, it's like it's -10 on block. What does that mean? I don't care. Like, does the move look cool? Yes, I'm going to use it. So, but I mean, I don't know how in depth that stuff will be. Like, as far as I can tell from the demo, pretty much every single move has it. Like, it just has it right there. So, and I think like it could turn more people off, but I'm kind of hoping for the opposite. I'm kind of hoping that it will make more people want to know more, if you know what I mean. Like, not go like tournament crazy, just it would, because I mean, it's no fun kind of steamrolling somebody in any game for me. Like, I prefer a close game, You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's no fun if you like just completely just annihilate a guy and like he doesn't even hit you. Like if you just like triple flawless a dude, it's like that wasn't fun because I didn't really learn anything. All I learned was that I was better than that guy. Whereas if you get like a game where like every single game goes down to the wire and you just get it at the end, like winning is so much more satisfying when you win like that. So, but yeah, that's all I played this week. It's just those 2 games. I haven't had a lot of time. But I was hoping for more from the demo, I must admit. I was a little disappointed. I was really hoping for some sort of training mode in the demo. They don't give you one. It's just standard like versus. So, and that's kind of bugging me. Like I do kind of want to just go in there and like find out as much as possible. And without a training mode, that's it's possible, but it just takes a lot fucking longer because you just have to reload match after match after match. So. But I'm still looking forward to it coming out. I think it'll be good. It's just, I don't know. I don't know who to play more than anything. I have no idea who I'm going to play because I haven't got a fucking like a lot of the characters they've announced. I just think who is that? I have no idea who that is. Like the main DC kind of celebrities, I guess I know of, but like there's quite a few. I just have no idea who they are. So, but that is it for me. So, moving on to news, guys. You're going to have to help me out here, because...
what
happened?
Couple of things, I guess. LucasArts is no longer, or...
which bodes poorly for Star Wars 1313.
Yeah.
Wasn't that, confirmed to be cancelled, though, I think?
Confirmed to be, stalled, I think.
Yeah.
But, sounds like that's... I don't know. Well, from what people were saying, it sounded like that... Yeah, it wasn't really at the point where it was really a game.
Oh, okay.
Ever. So, I mean, that game, being cancelled, I don't think is a major surprise. I don't think it was anywhere near completion, really. So, yeah, they're basically just going to license everything out now, from the sounds of it. And basically just focus on doing, free-to-play, mobile, all that sort of stuff. And not be making any big, I don't know, Star Wars or what else, Indiana Jones, I guess. Monkey Island. All that stuff is just, I don't know.
Gone, basically.
You can license it out, but
yeah,
I don't know.
It doesn't look good.
Star Wars is something that I can see people licensing. Maybe Indiana Jones, but anything else is probably not worth the a new Grim Fandango game isn't going to be a big seller, and
yeah.
So that sort of sucks. So
no Old Republic 2.
No Old Republic 2, no Star Wars 1313, like you said, no Battlefront 3, no...
I don't think there's ever going to be a Battlefront 3.
No Star Wars Connect 2.
Oh, man, think of all the, really disappointed fans.
No Indiana Jones The Infernal Machine 2. That game was awesome.
I've not played it.
That game was awesome. So, yeah, that happened. The other, I guess, slightly significant piece of news is that Aliens Colonial Marines has been cancelled for the Wii U.
Oh, yeah.
So one of the games, I guess, that, Nintendo was sort of hyping up was, this is coming to Wii U, along with, Batman Arkham Asylum and a bunch of other stuff, is not coming because that game is hot garbage and...
yeah, they've done all Wii
Arkham
U
Asylum
as a favor.
wasn't out. What didn't I know they got Arkham City?
Oh, sorry, Arkham City.
I was going to say did they say an Arkham Asylum too?
Sorry, I
okay.
fucked up. Yeah, so yeah, that game sucks. Gearbox are we know this game sucks. We're not going to bother. No one wants this game. So
how is there? I mean, I know there are good Alien games. Don't get me wrong, but how is there not a good current Alien game? How has that not happened yet?
Don't know.
I don't care.
You suck.
literally don't care.
I would like a good Aliens game, but
Aliens
it sounds like
fucking awesome. It
it's
just seems
starting
like
to become one of those like unmakeable games
Yeah.
in a way. Like
it seems like, yeah, I mean, people said that about Batman though. Like, you know, there was for so long, you know, it's like, where you know, where is the awesome Batman game? And then Arkham Asylum came out. It's like, holy shit, here it is.
I'm gonna keep holding out, like,
you know, it just kicked me in the face. That's where this game is. But
yeah,
you know, like it just seems like such a waste of like such a great monster. Like you've got such a great fucking enemy. You know, where is it? Like, where's the game? Where's the awesome game to come from this? And I still think the mistake is playing as a human. I don't want to play as a fucking human. I want to play as an alien wrecking humans in the face. And like that's partly why like Aliens versus Predator I thought was pretty cool, because the Alien campaign pretty much just let you do that. It was like, yeah, just, you know, pick off these dudes in really, really horrific ways. So, you know, like that was pretty cool. But it seems like there's much more there that they could do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I guess
there's also rumors about new Xbox talk this month.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
So maybe we'll finally hear something about the Xbox 8, Xbox Infinity, Xbox 720, or insert your favorite Xbox name here.
Xbox for you. Just putting it out there.
Xbox R Us.
That way they get a 4. They get a 4, and they could just have like Xbox for you.
A 4-box.
Apparently, an announcement is coming on May the 21st. That's the date being.
Here's a more important question: do you guys care?
May.
I care. I want to see what it is. I don't care like about all.
I'm interested. I think I like, you know, with PlayStation 4 being announced first, like, you know, it does feel like the ball is kind of in their court. Like, you know, it's their move. Like they need to, you know, they need to one up Sony in as many ways as possible.
Yeah, if they wait much longer, the shot counter will time out.
Yeah.
There's no telling really like when Sony are going to come out with more shit.
Not until E3, if I had to guess. Or unless they do something as a direct response to Microsoft's conference. Yeah. But I don't think Sony need to do shit. They can just...
Yeah, true. They've
got the lead, so
the first strike.
Why do anything?
Yeah. So I guess on a related note, some Microsoft Xbox dude was on Twitter
talking
shit.
Official job title.
Yeah. Well, not anymore.
Did he actually get fired?
Yeah. So dude was talking shit on Twitter about like all his online news. Basically, someone I think he may have started it. He basically said like, I'm not going to not buy a vacuum cleaner just because my electricity sometimes goes out. You know, obviously.
Oh, I think I saw a couple of these.
That wasn't his first tweet, but he started it, and then that was his response to someone getting all upsy about how, and if you don't understand, the internet goes down.
Oh, and he was like, oh, people need to get with the times.
When he got fired because of this,
and he was like,
oh man,
yeah, but I mean, he's representing the company obviously because he's a reasonably high up position, I think it was at Microsoft.
Let me look it up.
And spouting all this stuff, and so I don't go on Twitter and say stuff that hasn't been officially announced by the company that you work for.
How do you guys feel about like always online?
I think it's a bad idea. It's certainly at the minute. I think it's still at a point where like
I don't think it's great, but like I don't think it'd stop me buying a game.
It just feels completely.
Yeah, it's completely unnecessary.
I've never heard like a really good reason. Oh yeah, that's a great idea.
There's no good reason for it, but I mean, like the downsides are obvious. Like, it's completely unnecessary. All it does is fuck over people that buy it legit, because if you're going to pirate it, who fucking cares?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm trying to think of like a game, like if there was a new Crash Bandicoot or something, like a game that I really really cared about. It's always online. It wouldn't stop me buying it. If I really, really wanted the game, I don't think it would suck, but I don't think it would stop me buying a game. I don't think it's that big of a deal. It's just the fact that it is just completely unnecessary and it just fucks over people.
Thing is, it would sort of I mean, it already sucks when your internet goes down, but for it to stop something that doesn't even really
need it, yeah.
the
Like if
internet,
if it's like a single player game, that's why I was using Crash Bandicoot. I mean, then,
like if my kettle stopped working because the internet went down, I would be like, what? Well, it doesn't even need the internet. Like,
oh yeah, but I mean, it is. I mean, I think like comparing like products is always something that annoys me because like it's such a pointless argument. You know, when people can like used games, it's like, oh, there's no used whatever market, and it's like, yeah, but we're not talking about used whatever. We're talking about games. Like it's you can compare whatever product you want. Like at the end of the day, we're not talking about that product. So no, it's not.
Would no used games stop you from buying a console?
Probably not. To be honest, I mean, if used games was such a huge deal, I wouldn't have just spent $1,000 on a PC. I mean, granted, I can get like sales on a PC and stuff, but I mean, again, it's just it doesn't really benefit anybody. It's if the PS4 blocked used games, it's like all you're doing is sort of quadrupling the effect of people are not going to buy something day one unless they know for fucking certain it's something they're going to like, which means you're only ever going to buy sequels to shit that you enjoy. Like that's pretty much it. Like so, it wouldn't benefit anybody. It'd have like, the effect that sort of the last few years has had would be, tenfold if that happened. Like new IP, like probably would just fucking completely disappear. So it doesn't benefit anyone. But like always online I do think it's exaggerated sometimes. It's the days of your internet cutting out every 10 minutes, unless you're with Virgin,
I'm a Virgin.
Yeah, like they're behind us. Like that doesn't happen anymore. But it's still no excuse for just sort of doing it for a single player game or something like that.
Yeah.
So.
Still sort of sucks, but well, I mean, nothing's been announced yet, so there's no point in
Yeah. I mean, like if the 360 was all like if every single game on the 360 was always online, that's fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Like that's different than just a game being always online. Like if to use your system at all, you have to have it.
Well, that's what it.
Yeah.
Someone I'm not 100% sure where this comes from. So this could be complete bullshit. Don't take this as truth. I saw something on Twitter, I think it was, some anonymous source saying that like if the next Xbox is like offline for 3 minutes, I think it was, like any app or game that's currently being used will just stop functioning.
That's got to be hearsay. Surely they wouldn't be that stupid.
I don't know.
Especially seeing as like one of the. I mean, I know Sony didn't really confirm it, but like one of the bigger things before the PS4 was announced was the rumor that it was blocking used games, and they didn't explicitly say it will play used games, but they didn't really go out of their way to say, oh yeah, fuck used games, like we're not doing that. That just seems like a really bad business move to do that. If you don't play, like what if your console's not used for 3 minutes? What if I don't know. If you need to go to the toilet, what are you gonna do? Like put your fucking Xbox in your bathroom? Like that's just silly. But yeah, I'm interested in what the new Xbox is gonna be doing, because I think Sony, for me at least, like I didn't really expect them to. I mean, it's not out yet, but I didn't expect them to learn as much of the lessons they seem to have learned. They didn't sort of like with the PS3, they just came out like basically waving their dick around, like yeah, fucking fuck everything, bin everything. All you need to live is a PS3, and then it came out and it was like yeah, thanks guys, there's nothing on this thing. It's the size of a fucking house. It costs fucking 500 quid. So thanks. I'll go buy a 360 for like 300 with gears. See ya. So and this they went out of their way to convince people in a better way.
Even if there is a talk this month or next month from Microsoft announcing the new Xbox, I don't think we'll be any the wiser as to whether they're blocking used games or they're requiring always online internet, because that's not the kind of thing that they're going to bring up, is it?
I just don't see that happening. Like, I really don't. I mean, I'm not sure of stats, but like, there's still. I know people that don't have their consoles online. They just don't, because for a lot of people, like for people that are sort of interested on that level, online means you want to play people online, and there's people that don't want to do that. So, for those people, they're just straight up not going to buy the console. That just seems like chopping off your fucking legs just to say ha. Just don't see that happening. And plus, could you fucking give Sony any bigger fucking window to then say, oh, PlayStation 4 can play used games? Anyway, I digress. News, is that it for news?
In other news, I bought a new phone.
Oh, okay. I apologise for my extreme unpreparedness, but it's not my fault.
I also bought the Android Humble Bundle. I'm not sure if it's still going, but there's the current Humble Indie Bundle is an Android one, and it has the Room in it, which currently isn't out on the Google Play Store. So if you wanted the Room because you saw the quick look for the iOS version of that on Giant Bomb, that's the only place you can get it right now.
I just thought of something else I played. Speaking really quick, I don't know. I think just phone games probably reminded me, because I think it might have started as a phone game. I played a bit of Super Hexagon. It was on Steam.
Oh yes,
sale for £1. And God, that game was cool. But
yeah,
it's not a game. That is a prime example of a game. If I had a little Steam handheld thingy, whatever, not Steam handheld thingy. Sorry, what was it? Was it Nvidia? The handheld
Shield.
The Shield, yeah.
That's the kind of game I would like to play. On the move. I'd be able to play that on the bus.
Buy an iPhone or an Android phone.
Fuck that shit. The last time
join me. Nexus 4.
The last time I paid £400 to play one game, it was a PS3 and Ninja Gaiden.
I didn't pay £400 because I'm not an idiot.
What did you get?
Nexus 4.
What, on contract?
No, bought the phone.
How much was the phone?
Yeah, it's 280 quid, but
Oh, I'm sorry, 280 quid on a phone is totally sensible.
Yeah, it is. That's way.
Considering
compared to most phones that are coming out now, most phones launch at 500 fucking quid. Like the HTC One, the Samsung Galaxy S4, all of those are going to be.
Stupid.
Yeah. Well, the Nexus 4 is cool.
My phone cost me fucking 10 quid, and I don't give.
I'm going to buy hella Cariosoft games because they are the best. They're the people who made Game Dev Story.
Oh yeah.
Cool. And they've made a bunch of other ones
Yeah, I saw. Yeah,
some of them look really cool.
So, is that it for news? I think that is pretty much all we've got.
Yeah.
Okay, so the main part of this podcast, did you guys watch Game of Thrones?
Yeah. I haven't watched... Wait, isn't there one today?
No, yeah. I haven't watched episode 2 yet.
Episode 2 is in an hour, I think, isn't it? Or is it now? It might be now.
I don't know.
It's now on whatever Sky.
Did you guys see episode 1?
Yeah, I saw episode 1.
I haven't watched either of them yet.
Fuck!
Planning on doing it.
What did you think, Brad? We've all read the book, so
Okay, remember when we said book 3 part 1 has nothing in it? Yeah, they knew it, so they just fucking axed book 3 part 1. They're at the end of book 3 part 1 by the end of the first episode.
What?
Yeah, I didn't really like that. I gotta be honest.
What?
The main storyline with Daenerys.
Yeah.
They basically get to the interesting bit by the end of
she's
3 part 1. She's literally at the Unsullied place.
She's at the Unsullied. What's that
about
city called?
to have that scene. Yunkai? No, it's the other one.
No.
Or is it Astapor? Astapor,
isn't it? Astapor, yeah.
So, right, okay. Did they completely sidetrack the whole, or just avoid the whole Sir Barristan stuff?
He that's something that I was. He's in the first episode.
Yeah.
And I didn't like how they fucking did that bit. I don't want this to turn into I didn't like it because the book was better, but I didn't.
But I didn't like it because the book was better.
Yeah, I didn't know. It's something. Especially after finishing all the books, Barristan is a fucking badass. He is he is a tough bastard. And I don't think the show has really shown that yet. And they're they're in their 3rd season, And like, I mean, I'm reading the first book now, and like, there's a lot of backstory for his character that you just don't get in season 1 of the show, and you realize that he may be old, but he's still, one hard motherfucker. Like, you do not fuck with that guy. And I think the way that he shows up in the book in this series does that more than him just like stabbing a fucking beetle or something, or whatever he does in the show. That's the only part of the episode I really didn't like. I must admit, I thought the rest of it was pretty good.
I don't know how much we want to talk about it. Considering
that's interesting. I'm gonna have to watch it.
The dragons look the right size as well.
Yeah, they are the right size.
Yeah, it's just the way it looked in the trailer. In the
I was
trailer,
gonna say that. Yeah,
huge.
they look pretty much exactly the size I imagined them.
And they look fucking awesome. They don't look quite how I imagined them in the book. Really, I mean, dragons are fairly, you can kind of make them look any way you want as long as they've got wings and breathe fire. But I don't know. I imagine the ones in the book to look more like they're just made of armor, like the way they're described. Like they just seem to be like made of fucking metal and fire.
I was thinking more like classic lizardy type things.
No, I mean, especially the way. I mean, this isn't really spoiler heavy, but if you guys don't want me to talk about book 5,
which book? I'd rather you didn't.
I wouldn't say it. And but I just, in the book, they look fucking mean and like they could fucking just punch a dude in half. Well, not punch, but I mean, they're a lot smaller at this stage in the show, but.
John, how far are you in book 5 now?
Just before halfway, I think.
Of part 1 overall?
No, just the whole thing. So yeah, I'm towards the end of part 1.
Oh, cool.
Okay, you're further than me. I'm about halfway through book 1.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Have you both of you guys read the first book?
Yeah.
One thing I'm noticing, like probably, I mean, entirely because it is the first book. The first book fucking moves way quicker
definitely,
than like chapters. Like there are some chapters that are like 10 pages.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just a smaller set of characters.
Definitely that. But I don't know. I'm halfway through the first book and I've been reading it for like a week.
And obviously that was maybe back when like he wasn't maybe thinking about the whole. I think he became a lot more aware of the fact that like he was spreading it out over 7 books. As it progressed, especially like towards book 4. Like book 1, he doesn't have to take into regard, I talked about this thing in the last book, or it's just sort of he can just do what he wants basically.
I'm sort of the opinion at the moment. I'm really kind of wanting him to just sort of get on with like. Nah, I'm not gonna say that. Actually, that's kind of spoilery. I'll leave that. I mean, it's not spoilery, but just in case. So I will leave that until you guys have finished the book. I won't finish that sentence. On that, so it's super frustrating being at work and like people watching the show and they haven't read the books. I'm like, man, I just want to talk about, that bit, and nobody's read the books. And I'm trying to get people to read them.
Well,
they're just like, no, they're too big. I'm like, nah, come on. I'm the slowest fucking reader on the planet, and so
yeah. John, next week, make sure you've watched episodes 1 and 2, and we can talk about those.
Yeah.
And get to our book 5 spoiler cast as well.
Yeah, that's might be in the summer, maybe.
I can't fucking wait to do that. I really need to talk to somebody about that book.
I've seen people shitting on book 5. I don't know why.
I think part 1 definitely has its not boring bits, but pretty predictable bits.
Yeah. And people saying it's as bad as book 4. I was like, the first chapter is better than book 4 in its entirety. I read a page and was instantly relieved after reading book 4.
They're fucking crazy. Book 2 is definitely sort of where the bigger shit definitely happens, but
wait, book 2.
Part 2. Part 2. Sorry. Like part 2 is definitely where like sort of the bigger stuff happens. But I mean, book 4 was just the first 600 pages of that. Maybe I'm overstating that a little bit, but it felt like that book didn't really fucking start until
like 601 pages.
Yeah, like it didn't start until a quarter of the way through.
No, 3/4. It was probably
3/4 of the way through. Sorry, but yeah. Like overall though, I'm really glad I kind of found. I had no fucking idea like this series existed until the TV show, started. So I'm really glad that I actually kind of stumbled upon it. So.
Indeed.
But does that do us? Oh, there's The Walking Dead as well. If you want to talk about that, John. Did you watch the finale of The Walking Dead?
Yeah, I saw that.
I thought it was kind of shit. I'm just gonna come right out with it. As a finale, I thought that was really, really disappointing. The only thing they did was kill Andrea. Spoiler alert. I mean, that's the only good thing they did. The governor's like rampage was kind of sick, but like apart from that, I was like, yeah, this is kind of this is a bit disappointing. Like I got nothing that I was hoping for in this like final.
Is it final?
Yeah, that was it. That was the end of season 3.
No, I mean, is there going to be another season?
Oh yeah, there's another season. Yeah.
Oh no, there's definitely more Walking Dead. I don't know. I'm interested to see where they go because they're starting to deviate quite significantly from the comics. So I'm just interested to see what happens. I quite enjoyed it. It was nice to see something just good happen at the end, like with all the them saving all the grannies and children.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, and that was a refreshing change from just bleak and terribleness, but. Yeah, I know. I just didn't feel like they paid anything off. Like the governor kind of like that whole bit where they like quote storm the prison, and it was like 3 explosions. Oh, they're not here. Oh, we're getting bodied. Oh, let's go. Okay, like that was really really anticlimactic. That was
poorly handled, I thought, because like I don't know why they didn't just let Glenn and Maggie kill a couple of dudes. It seemed like they didn't kill anyone. Like the only dude that died was the one that Carl shot.
That was my favorite part of the episode. I don't know about you. That was my favorite part of the episode. I thought that was fucking sick. Like people, because I mean, I don't know about you, but like the way he was like kind of leaning towards him, I was like, yeah, he's really just gonna try and grab his gun, and then I was afraid that they were gonna go all fucking boring and be like, oh, don't do anything or I'm going to shoot this kid and whatever. Like, and when he shot him, I was like, fuck yeah. Like, that was good shit.
Yeah. I don't know. I think maybe the governor, maybe he's a decent antagonist and could.
Oh yeah, he is. He is really good. And I didn't really
deal
want
with
him
a
to
bit more
killed.
screen time.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't really want him to get killed in this episode, but I was hoping for a bit more of a bit more confrontation between him and Rick, or just
a bit of a clean out of characters.
Yeah, they got rid of Andrea. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I was expecting like way more characters to die, but I think that the whole thing with them taking in a bunch of survivors means a bunch of dudes can now just die because.
Yeah, but that's just going to be fodder again.
Either it's those people that they brought in die, or current cast members die, and they like someone from that group becomes like a new character. Like obviously that woman is the one that survives the governor's rampage is obviously gonna become a character. It seems like, and obviously Tyrese and God, what the hell's that lady called that he's with?
Good question.
I don't know. Woman, lady.
Like, I think that's part of that.
They're obviously going to become characters. But
yeah, I think they will. And I think that they need some new blood. I'm kind of bored of. I mean, I can't remember most of their names. I'm kind of bored of Maggie and Glenn. I'm really, really bored.
Yeah, Maggie and Glenn.
They're just being really.
Stale, I guess.
I don't know. I'm just really bored. They're not doing anything.
Yeah.
I still think Herschel is cool.
Herschel's cool.
I like Herschel.
Herschel's got that classy ponytail thing going on.
He's rocking the apocalypse as well. Got guns strapped to his like stump leg, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm kind of disappointed they killed off what's his face, the governor's like
Milton.
Milton. I liked him. I liked his character. I think they.
I actually thought that whole setup was like cleverly done. I guess.
Yeah,
like,
that was good.
When he goes like, "You're not going to leave here without killing her."
Yeah.
And then he stabs him so that I think that was pretty awesome.
I like that, and I think it was good of how they killed Andrea. Like, I mean, I didn't really I didn't see it coming straight away, but like as soon as you kind of hear like her scream and then she kills him, it's like, oh yeah, like that's pretty good actually. Like that's a pretty good way to get rid of her.
Yeah, so I don't know. The Walking Dead is. I think it's actually back in autumn, which is not very long at all. So that's sort of cool. Not long to wait until whatever the fuck happens next.
I'm sticking with it. I mean, I just love zombies, man. Like anything with zombies.
Yeah.
Like my zombie barrier is pretty low, so unless it's Dead Island, the game fucking sucks. Yeah, like I do kind of hope they. I don't know. I'm finding it hard to like kind of get down what that show is missing. Like, you know, what season 1 had that maybe just the sheer fact that it was shorter. Season 1 was 6 episodes.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, you know,
I mean, obviously, and then you know, it was completely fresh, I guess.
Oh yeah,
like,
definitely, yeah. But I think, you know, the longer season, you know, there's something to be said for a shorter season. Like, you know, the longer a season is, it's just sort of, you know, the more time you have to fill with stuff.
Definitely. I mean, the only series that I've ever watched that like did the 12, 13 episode like format properly was The Wire, because like there was never an episode that felt like filler. But like, I mean, a lot of American series have like, you know, ridiculous amount of episodes per season, and it's one of its like one part of it's because a lot of stuff's just syndicated, where you know, you can watch one episode and it's completely unrelated to the rest. Obviously, The Walking Dead isn't that for the most part.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I mean, it does suffer because, you know, towards the end of this season, I felt like it needed to be like maybe 2 episodes shorter for it to, you know, be efficient and like, you know, quality all the way through. Like I think it was like the second last episode or the episode before that where I was like, yeah, this is starting to sink back into like season 2 territory of just like, you know.
I think
filler.
season 2 though had worse characters.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like,
you know, like they. I mean,
it never got to the point where it was like as bad as season 2 was.
Yeah, definitely. Like the characters that they have in season 3, I think. I mean, I think I do kind of miss Shane purely because he was like the one character that, like, at least when he was on screen, something was happening for the most part. Like, you know, killing him off, you know, necessary, but you know, you did like remove one of the best characters on the show, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like I get killing Merle as well. Like that was the one part, you know, like when he's not really fighting the governor just kind of like kills him. That was the one bit where I was like just really cheering for Merle. I was like, nah, come on, like stab him in the leg or something, like you know, like I think they lost a really good character there, and you know, they could have done something with Merle instead of just, you know, killing him off.
I think Merle maybe.
I mean, he had to die.
The end
definitely,
of his storyline, I think. Like,
I don't know. I think they could have done more with him. Like maybe like him and Daryl, like because those two together.
Yeah, I don't know. His arc seemed to be like racist dickhead, like, and transitioning into like actually being a proper brother and person, and then, you know, eventually getting killed because he tried to do something good, which was.
Yeah, I guess, and I think they should do more. They need to do more with Michonne too. Like, I know they definitely did more in like season 3, but she seems to just be sort of there a lot of the time. So, we'll see though. I mean, I'm hopeful for season 4. I think it seems like they've taken the criticisms of season 2, you know, fairly on the nose. So, but if that's it. Is that it then? I think that's pretty much it for this episode.
I think so.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Cool beans. What's next week? Is anything coming out this week? I'm trying to think ahead. Any big releases?
No.
No.
We're in a sort of dead period for a couple of weeks, maybe.
We are, yeah. I mean, I haven't played. I think Dead Space is like the only real big release of this year I've played. I still haven't played Metal Gear Rising yet. Haven't played BioShock. I swear there was something else that came out.
Tomb Raider?
Yeah, I haven't played Tomb Raider yet. I'm annoyed about that because I hear nothing but like broken stuff about the PC version, but that's the version I want to play.
Yeah.
You know, I don't really want to. I just don't want to like have this PC and then like the first game I play is the 360 version. You know what I mean? But if it is completely busted on PC, then what can you do?
Huh.
Oh yeah, there's Gears as well. I knew there was something I was forgetting. Gears and God of War, the two games that I still kind of can't believe that's out.
Yeah. Injustice comes out the week after next.
April. I mean, I might get mine early because I've ordered from the US GameStop. I'm going to import the PS3 version, so hopefully I'll get mine early. But we'll see.
Other than that, though, there doesn't really seem to be anything on the horizon.
I should get around to playing Gears.
The Star Trek game comes out in like 2 weeks.
Yeah. I don't know.
Dead Island Riptide comes out.
Yeah.
Xenoclash 2. Deadly Premonition Director's Cuts at the end of the month.
Hell yes.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. We need to do. Should we bother with a Deadly Premonition spoiler cast or just talk about Deadly Premonition?
Well,
I think the week that we play that will turn into a Deadly Premonition spoiler cast.
Yeah, well, I can't play it, so.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Oh, you don't have a PS3, do you?
Nope.
You fucking peasant.
You will have to tell me what new content is in that game. Also, remind me what the
man.
fuck happened in that game.
Bikes.
Oh, the end of that game was so good.
God, I love Deadly Premonition. That game is fucking awesome. Well, maybe that's not a completely valid statement, but that game is...
That game is fucking alright.
Yeah, that game is fucking alright. Doesn't have quite the same ring to it, though.
I think that's the point.
But yeah, I mean, it's... let's talk about Deadly Premonition.
It's so alright that it's alright.
No, let's just talk about Deadly Premonition. Fuck this.
What, right now?
Yeah, fuck this ending the show bullshit. Deadly Premonition. Man, sandwiches.
It's an interesting game.
You know the bit where you go blonde?
Yeah,
that bit.
I don't actually want to spoil Deadly Premonition. If you haven't played that game,
go watch the quick look.
Fix that. No, I disagree with that. You need to play Deadly
Dude, I got the exact same experience.
No, you didn't.
Except I didn't have to play the game.
No, you didn't.
It was amazing.
No, you did not. John, you got to back me up here.
I actually never played Deadly Premonition.
You fucking suck.
That you get pretty much everything out.
Are you serious?
Right, you know what? You probably get more because you don't actually have to play the game during those awful like shooting the ball ladies and all that bullshit.
No.
Did you watch Vinny and Jeff or Brad and Ryan?
I've watched both.
I've watched both now. Yeah.
I was trying to watch both, and then my internet was just too shit. Like I started watching them somewhere where I had better internet and got 20 episodes in on both, and then had to just switch to Brad and Ryan for the rest of the series.
Oh, sorry. Nah, it's you should play it. Don't listen to these two crazy.
Vinny and Jeff's probably the slightly better one, but they're still pretty.
I guess, but I like my Brad.
Okay. Fair.
Even despite his downfalls.
Yeah, I mean,
I
gotta say,
was
Brad makes it look.
Neither of you watched the. I guess neither of you watched the Infinite spoiler cast thing, did you?
No.
Oh no.
Fuck, man. Oh Jesus Christ! I was actually like. There's a bit at the end. It's not really a spoiler. It's something in combat where you have to take down these big zeppelins.
Yeah.
Right.
And fucking Vinny had the thing that you needed to use to take them down, and he was looking at the zeppelins, and he just started killing random fodder dudes that didn't need to be killed, and they're attacking this thing that you have to protect, and I was like, just kill it. Kill the thing. You don't need to kill these fodder guys, and it took him fucking ages. And everyone's watching him, but he's playing it in a soundproof room or something.
Well, because he hadn't finished it.
they're watching him play it as they like talk about the ending and stuff.
Oh man.
Well, they all go
and he's
mental
just like
as well.
he's just
That's why
well, like Jeff's just like just kill the Zeppelins, just kill the Zeppelins, and he like it's pretty funny.
That's
But,
why
like,
I've
he,
stopped
like-
watching a lot of like the stuff. A, I haven't got the time, and B, like when it's something like that, I just get annoyed. You know,
he completely whiffs. Like, he completely whiffs on that bit like 3 times as well, and like Jeff's just finish it.
That's like the exact feeling I get with like the Bradley May Cry series. It's like, oh my god, like
That's intentional.
that's no, he
That
fucking
is
sucks.
Totally intentional.
No.
That is intentional. It's a Breaking Brad. It's
Yeah,
meant
but
to be Brad failing
it's
fucking horribly at video games.
it's the
That's why you watch it.
Yeah, but it's the comments of like the things like they say about it, like why they're failing. It's like, no, you're failing because you're clearly not noticing this, and this. You're not. It's no fucking mystery as to like, that attack has just killed you 5 fucking times when you've tried to jump over it. Stop trying to jump over the attack. You can't do it. Like, it's that kind of stuff that just you just want to scream, like, just fucking roll. Like, you can roll under it. Jesus Christ.
I think I knew there was a roll button. Just saying.
There's not a roll button in Devil May Cry. There's never been a roll button. Well, there is in
How do you
DMC.
roll?
You roll by locking onto an enemy, pushing the direction, and your evade button. That's how you roll.
That's a roll button, then, isn't it?
Well, no, because it's the jump button that you have to. There's no.
It's fucking bad design then.
No, it's not. It's fucking awesome. It's fucking. You guys need to level up. It's fucking good. It's good stuff.
You know what the best thing ever was watching Brad finally beat Mission Impossible.
Oh, yeah, that was fucking good. I gotta admit.
Oh my god, I can't believe he actually completed it. I can't believe he actually completed it. The way Vinny started playing that Olympic music, the dun 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 dun, just randomly, he just played it on that run, and it was the one where he completed it. Oh my god, so good. Actually,
Anyway,
Yeah, I think that about does us
is that it?
for this week. Yep.
I think I'm gonna play Fatal Frame next week if that actually comes out
I'm
on
gonna.
PSN. It sounds like it's coming out on PSN, but I'm not sure if it's coming out in Europe because PSN is all weird with
Yeah.
European releases and stuff.
I really
Persona
wanna play
3
some
is supposed
Gears
to be on the PSN store, but it ain't.
I really want to play some Gears. You maybe really want to play Gears, John. We've got to play some Gears this weekend.
Gears is a good video game.
If I've got
I
time.
don't know if you know this.
Yeah. I've got my first local MK9 meeting on Saturday. Fucking can't wait for that. So finally get to play some fucking offline. That's another thing actually, real quick, just to sort of rag on MK9's online again. Since it's got this new internet, I thought I'd try MK9 again. It's like, right, okay, my internet is fucking ridiculous now. It's still unplayable. It's still fucking a solid second and a half of input lag. How people play that game online, I really don't know. They must be fucking. It must be fucking psychic to play that game online. Dumb. Anyway, that does it for this episode.
email us.
Email us, yeah. myelectronicbox at. God, I've gone blank.
Gmail.
I thought it was Gmail. Yeah, gmail.com. Sweet. We'll see you next week, guys. Say bye, Brad.
Bye, Brad.
Say bye, John.
Bye, John.
Peace.